The Hive haven't been on Earth in centuries. That wizard came from the moon.
Send them home crying. You're crushing them.
Omnigul, destroy her!
More efforts like that, and we might just win this.
Yo.
Hey. Really?
I'm pouring water. Not using the bathroom. I'm pouring water.
Uh-huh. That's not what it sounds like.
Definitely pouring water. All right, so what question are we asking?
Fuck if I know.
All right.
I think probably just you know, feel out
Yeah.
what his thoughts are on the game and
What the fuck was killing us?
What?
What the fuck was killing us every time we ran Oryx?
I don't know.
Like,
What's going on, guys?
I don't care anymore. Hey.
What's happening, man?
Hello, Mike.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing, man?
Sweet. Alrighty, so consider this like your job interview along with your dog.
Yeah. She screams. She barks.
Fair enough. Alrighty, man. So I'm here. Damien's here.
Yo.
What's
I
going
guess
on?
we're basically just gonna feel out your thoughts on Destiny and
Okay.
see if this is gonna work.
Okay, no problem.
Sweet. So why don't you start by telling us how you got into Destiny?
It was basically just I got the beta code from a friend and jumped in and fell in love with it.
Nice.
It's actually it's actually the second first person shooter I ever played. The first one was Black Ops 2. I'm mainly an RPG adventure type gamer.
Okay, so you come from the role playing background. You're all about those stats and those numbers popping off those enemies. Then, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
But I'll tell you this, though.
Dogs barking and the cops coming for you.
Well, but see, that's not me. I live in the heart of the city. It's a lot of.
Oh, that's you, Dame.
bars
Oh, never
here.
mind.
Yeah, that's me. But no, I'll tell you this though. You started like for first person shooter. You started the right game. Even though I'm not a big Call of Duty person anymore, but I played the shit out of Black Ops 2. So
yeah, I did too. And it was basically my introduction to sniper rifles. And after that, I was like, okay, anything with a sniper rifle, I'm going to play. So I played a little bit of Ghosts and Advanced Warfare, but Destiny pretty much has taken everything. That's the only game I play anymore.
Right. So which side? Because obviously Destiny kind of spins on two coins. It spins on the first-person shooter front as well as the RPG front. What would you define for you as the thing that grips you on the first-person shooter side and the RPG side?
Well, the smooth gun control. I mean, of all the, I don't really have very much shooter experience, but the guns are smooth. Like the way you can switch and shoot just on the fly.
Yeah,
that's what got me basically.
And I've played a shit ton of first-person shooters, and so is Dame. Like, there's really nothing else that is of that level.
Yeah, the mechanics is fine.
That's basically Bungie. You know, that's why Halo is famous.
And I love the way every gun is different. How you can have a sniper rifle that's the exact same base stats, but just the perks change everything. You know what I mean? Like, if you had Firefly, it's a great crowd control for mobs, but in PvP, it's not that great. But if you had the stability perks or what, stability perks in general make everything better. But you'd want a really stable, hard hitting PvP weapon. So that's what it is for the shooter.
Okay.
So you like sniper rifles?
That and auto. Yeah, I'm an auto rifle fan. I've been playing auto rifle since before it got buffed. So I had a rough time in the PvP.
Because see, I'm a big PvP player. So
yeah, he was bragging earlier about how he's now in the top 2%.
Oh man, that's with my hunter. Right? That's with my hunter. My hunter's in the top 2%.
Oh, you're a hunter too.
Yeah. So
Hunter Nation.
Like, my hunter, Hunter Nation, man. My hunter is my overall PvP player. But so my hunter class I'm in the top 2% of hunters, but overall I'm in the top 5% Crucible. But I'm a sniper too, so I'm just interested in what's your perks, what's your setup as far as sniping, because I use my steel piercer. That's my trials weapon. That's my fuck around, just practicing weapon. I use my steel piercer all the time. I actually like that better than my 1,000-yard stare, is because the fact that I like practicing with no training wheels. I feel like the 1,000-yard stare has a high aim assist, which is why a lot of people use it in trials or anything in Crucible. Steel piercer doesn't.
Its aim assist is a 74 for the 1,000-yard stare. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I've gotten used to shooting with the steel piercer, so it actually taught me how to drag into my sniper shots, how to strafe and just drag into the shots, or how to lag out of the shots when someone is moving. So that's actually a better training for me to use that weapon. So I'm just curious on what's your setup as far as sniper? What do you use?
Well, year 2 I have the Irene from Arms Day, week 3.
Luck in the chamber.
The void damage with Luck in the Chamber, yeah. But for year 1, it was Patience and Time.
That's
you're a Patience and Time guy. Okay.
Oh yeah, Patience.
You know what?
I feel you.
Very rare.
It hurt going away.
It's not rare. Killbot was a Patience and Time guy.
Was he really Patience and Time? I thought he was a Her Benevolence like me.
He was a Patience and Time, and he was a Praetus, and
I know he did Praetus.
Her Majesty.
I don't think he ever did Her Majesty. Isn't Her Majesty year 2 though?
No, Her Majesty is the old school. That's the first.
Yeah. Was it?
That's the first sniper from the Queen. The first sniper.
Yeah, when it was
her Benevolence. Yeah, Her Benevolence was the sniper after that. It was Her Majesty at first. That was the rare sniper. When she first dropped.
That was what I used too. If I wanted to go to a Hawk Moon or whatever it was that I wanted to use in year 1. But I've been playing auto rifles for almost all of year 2, and when I first jumped into PvP real heavy. Okay. So I was getting worked pretty hard.
But now I'm gonna tell you this now, man. If you're doing auto rifles now, I'm running with the Suros. And the Suros is pretty good. I haven't ran with the Monty yet. I haven't ran with the Supercell. So I don't know with the Zalo or Monte Carlo. The Monte Carlo, I think, is going to be the one. Between that or Doctrine from Trials.
That's what I have. I have the Doctrine of Passing with persistence, brace frame, and the and increased stability. So my stability is maxed out, and it has a 55. Yeah, it's a bullet hose.
Yep. That's going to be one.
So aside from Damien's probing questions about all of your sniper preferences, so what element of Destiny grabs you for the RPG side?
Oh man, it's the loot. The loot has to be the thing, man. Okay. And the loot, everything drops. It's a great feeling when you see that gold Ingram drop from using your 3 of coins for 12 strikes in a row. But I love the customization because Damien plays a hunter just like I play a hunter, but his hunter doesn't look like my hunter.
Sure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like we could be standing next to each other and just inspecting, like, okay, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? You know, I never thought of putting that shader on at that time.
Mm.
So it's just, you know, it's like I'm a big customization fan.
Okay.
Like I think Destiny would do well because they're not doing any big DLCs anymore for year 2.
Well,
they're just doing little small events.
That's not true.
Oh, really?
If you read this week's Bungie update, they said, yeah, there's a lot of little stuff coming from the live team, but they said that there is the quotations on it was a substantial update coming in spring, is what they said.
I didn't read that.
They didn't really like in typical Bungie fashion. They were being very cagey, but it was the most that they've said about it thus far.
Yeah, they are.
You know, they might just like sneak in a little. Oh, hey, here's a good little Christmas present for you guys. Thank you for being a player. You know, Bungie always does stuff like that.
Well, they did do something like that last year, but I think it would probably be too hopeful. It would probably be too hopeful for that for this year, since we have the SRR or the SRL, the Sparrow Racing League.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they've really kind of said that that's their thing for this month. You know.
Right.
So if there is something pops up, you know, night before Christmas, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Zur wearing the Santa Claus hat.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the most they'll probably go is like how Halloween, you get the mask, you get the Santa Claus hat or the elf hat or reindeer ears or
red nose.
like that. And you get bounties to get XP or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hunt all the reindeer down.
Right.
Yeah, that might be one for Petra.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta hunt wolves.
I personally love hunting
and Petra gives you a box of coal.
Took it out.
Petra gives you a box of coal, which is definitely irrelevant to anything pertaining to how you get XP.
Right.
Oh yeah, the raisins, the infamous raisins.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So what I want to hear from you, Mike, in this, I guess, interrogation, is what is your single favorite thing about Destiny right now? What is your favorite thing about Destiny that they've changed more recently in year 2 that has like pushed it aside from being one of your favorite things? And what would you say is your personal least favorite thing, and then the thing that you could define as what Bungie needs to fix next about Destiny?
Okay. My favorite thing about Destiny in whole is the community. It's not, coming from a Black Ops 2, base. There were a lot of douchebags.
Yeah.
in Black Ops 2.
That's a Call of Duty ecosystem, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you got to be able to swim. Basically, is how that looked. How
pretty much,
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got called a noob and all kinds of things, a troll, because I used the shield for a while just to learn how to shoot. So that's basically it's the community. The community is fantastic. Like I can go into the tower at 3:00 in the morning and get random invites from 8 people. Hey, you want to do some you want to do some bounties? You want to play some PvP? Need help with this? I got the checkpoint for this. So that has to be the number one thing I love the most about Destiny.
That's a pretty interesting choice. Not because it's bad or anything, but because we literally threw that podcast out. That last podcast me and Damien did, and we're like, hey, our fucking show's in trouble because everybody else has abandoned us. Right. And not necessarily abandon us. Okay, that we still play with them sometimes and stuff. But in terms of like their own passion for Destiny, and even me and Damien's passion for Destiny has waned, like within the last month. Not just because there's been a lack of content, but also because there's been
so many
quality
games.
AAA games that have been caught my attention.
Games. Like November was a crazy month. Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that you chose that also because you were the person who reached out to us on our show, which is still technically a baby, and so you saying that the community has been the defining feature, and I think I even said, correct me if I'm wrong here, Damien, but didn't I say like in our podcast asking to reach out to the community for our show that the Destiny community is the nicest gaming community that I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of.
Yep.
So.
And I mean, it's true because even you go on, like, you can go in any group made by any Destiny's player, whether it's Universal Destiny or Fire Team Chat or any other Destiny group on Facebook. Like, it's always, I mean, you got some douchebags, granted, but
there's always.
It's always some douchebags. But for the most part, it's like 85, 90% amazing. You got that 10% that's just going to be that douchebag 10%. But that's saying a lot. Granted, even if you want to take it back to the OG Xbox days, Halo 2, that was a Call of Duty back then. You either had to be good or been a noob.
Yeah, I literally know a friend who had 2 Xbox Live accounts, so that if his kill death rating started dropping, he would just switch to his crappy account.
See, I didn't do that. I just stuck it out with my one.
That's a little extreme.
I stuck it out with my one.
I knew people.
And the funny thing is, I still got my Xbox account is still the OG one. Like, I use when the OG Xbox. Like, it's old as fuck.
I still have my original Live account as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a PlayStation.
Do you
remember
player. The questions I asked? Because I don't.
What's the thing that Bungie has made better?
What's the thing? Well, not necessarily the thing that they made better, but what's the thing that you liked before, but they've changed now, and like a patch has like screwed it up or wrecked the vibe of something that you once liked?
My Hog Moon got killed. That was my shit. I hate Bungie for that. They killed my Hog Moon.
I know, Damien. I'm asking Mike, man.
Yeah. Well, they nerfed to death the auto rifles, but they brought them back, so I can't really say that. I'm gonna have to say I had a lot of fun in Prison of Elders. I know it's not a very popular thing, but I really enjoyed Prison of Elders, and I enjoyed how every week all they did was move the boss down one and then move a new boss in.
Yeah, they had like, what was it, like 5 in rotation?
4, four or 5, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I like that.
So, I guess I guess you already said auto rifles, but then they changed that back. So, okay, I mean that's fair enough. And so then what's the thing that you think Bungie should be spending their time and effort on fixing or improving right now?
I mean, you guys pretty much said it. People get burned out of the game really quickly. I mean, I think I'm a rarity considering I have very limited game time due to my job.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything is new. Like when I logged on to the Festival of Lost, I sat in the tower for like an hour going, holy crap, what happened? Like this is I'm running around looking at people like, oh, Petra, somebody has a Petra mask on. Oh, the speaker has this on. And I just, I like that, but it's just the burnout. Like they need to, and they've addressed this, that they need to keep players involved and interested. So like, with the Sparrow Racing League or with the Festival of the Lost or with whatever they could do. That's probably what Bungie needs to do, concentrate on. And that's what they're doing. Because whether we like it or not, Bungie is pretty much reading everything, of note that people put about Destiny.
Right.
Okay. So, from your own perspective, since you did reach out to us, what do you feel that you can bring from your voice to Agents of the Nine, a Destiny podcast?
I think I'd bring more of an average player. I mean, I'm not a 2%er. No offense.
That's fine. I'm not a 2%er. I never will be.
I have a solid 1.0 KD. I think is my hunter. So I mean, like I play more for the love of the game and for the fun of it.
Sure.
I'm not saying people who play every single day, they don't. Like I would love to be a 2%er, the top 5% of the world in PvP. But, I love just playing the game. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time, not counting Legends of Zelda.
Good choice.
You can get there. I'm gonna tell you this. You can get there if you buckle down and get serious. You can get there.
I know, but he's saying he has, he has work commitments. We can't all be a workaholic like you, Damien, and somehow spend 72 hours a week playing Destiny. You know?
I mean, I try to make some ways to carve it out. Like when I started, I was like, goddamn, Tim was like top 30%.
Yeah, you started in like what, June?
June, yeah, maybe,
It wasn't that long ago.
May, it might have been May or June. It was about that time. And then I got a tweet from Triple Rack, and Triple Rack sent me, he DM'd me back, and that was like it. That was it from there. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. You know, like he sent me something that motivated me. So I sent him a clip, and I had like a moment in a Crucible, and I was like, I had a Triple Rack moment, and I mentioned him, and then he sent me back. He was like, "Ooh, kill him! Like, go for it." And so that was the moment that's like, I was like, you know what? I think I can do this. And so from there, I went from like top 30%. And I kept him in the loop every week, every month. I went from top 30 to like top 26, top 24, top 22, top 20, top 15. I'm like top 10. Next thing you know, I'm like top 8, top 7. And now, like once you get the top 7, that shit gets hard, dude. Like, because I really think now Bungie like puts me in a higher class as far as Crucible. I'm in Crucible like, yo, I'm playing with a bunch of sweaties. Period. like I'm playing with a bunch of sweaties, and I'm like, they look at me like, yo, you're in the top 5. Okay, we're gonna put you in this class rank. This is where you are, and I think their matchmaking like has like put me in. I need to be on my game, you know? So, like, if you can do it, you can definitely do it. You can definitely do it, dude. Like, if you want to practice and watch Crucible footage, like, I got videos on YouTube. If you want to watch that, I got stuff that I follow by.
Well, I want to point out another thing to you, Damien, because I've been chatting with Mike for a little while now. He's actually on the PS3 version of Destiny, so he would have his own different pool of stuff since the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, and PS3. They're all, they're segregated.
Right.
So there you go.
So you're dealing with you're dealing with different servers, different different pool of people. It might be smooth on your side though.
Yeah, I mean, I've really noticed that they have fixed the lag issue. I get very few red bars anymore. Like being against people, watch them teleport around the stage, around the environment. Mm-hmm. But I mean, every now and then, like just last week, I went flawless on trials for the first time.
Nice, good job,
man!
Dude.
Congratulations, man!
Thank you. That's how I got my doctor in a passing. I went on.
Nice.
Yeah, I found 2 guys.
What did you think of the lighthouse?
It was it was amazing.
Yeah.
I ran around that for about an hour and a half, an hour. They were showing me like, okay, well, this is this. And really it looked like to me that the lighthouse was going to be.
Did you go through the, oh, goddamn, Tim, what do we call it? Is it Zer's pocket house in the bottom? Did you go through there?
Well, there's like a 1,000 little nooks in that place. But what were you going to say, Mike?
Oh, it seemed to me that it would be a lighthouse. It was going to be a lighthouse at one point in time because you could see where all the vendors would be, and then they kind of.
Do you mean a tower?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I said lighthouse. Yes, a tower.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. In that expose from either the last or the second to last Agents of 9 that we did before we took a little hiatus, and we were reading that Kotaku article. That was one of their confirmations, was that was going to be the original tower, and was going to be where you would meet your Ben Kenobi, in which in this case it was supposed to have been Osiris himself.
Well, you know what? Hold on, Tim. I'm glad you said that. Where was I?
We've been over this, Damien. You were on that show.
I was reading
what are you doing?
I was reading the Grimoire. I was reading the Grimoires night before last. And I was reading some stuff, and I'm like, yo, this sounds like something Eris Morn was saying. And oh my gosh, it was a quote, and she was speaking to Osiris, which makes me believe that, yo, in the next DLC, is she part of a cult? Because, Osiris was casted out of the Warlocks. He's like a black sheep of the Warlocks, and he was, oh my gosh, hold on. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna find the shit. And Eris Morn was like,
oh, Damien.
Saint 14 was sent to find him.
Yeah, Saint 14 was sent to find him.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, yo! I was reading it last night. I was like, holy shit! So if they go like in the DLC, and Eris Morn and Osiris are part of the same card, could they be? I'm jumping in the rabbit's hole with Zer, part of the Ages of the Nine. Could it? Because she's like my queen. I know my destiny now.
I still think Eris is going to betray everybody at some point.
I don't. Yeah. I mean,
no
she has
doubt
the shard
in my
of Crota,
mind
or of
that
works.
she has more nefarious things. Actually, one of the jokes in this week's Bungie update was, sorry, we didn't announce at PSX last weekend, darker below 2, deeper and darker, or something like that was their actual line. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about Eris Morn that I don't trust her. Just by the way she acted.
It's certainly not her
side.
hive face and her creepy, glowing, leaky eyes.
Yeah. What did you have to do to survive is what I wondered. Because I think she has a worm.
Ooh, yeah, that's... Ooh.
It might be that shard that she carries with her. It might be that, like, a piece of the worm.
That's a fucking
I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah.
Definitely won't put it past her.
That's a good thing, Mike.
Now, I mean, you got to give Bungie kudos for having such deep lore. Because, I mean, when you pick up a gun, you know the backstory of that gun. Like, when you get the Thorn, you're like, okay, this is the story of the Thorn.
Yeah.
You know, or the Last Word, the Chaperone. You know, all the named guns basically have a story behind them, and it's so deep.
Yep.
Damn, I can't remember where God damn it. I was just reading through Grimoire and then just like fucking around, and I saw her talking to Osiris. It's a quote.
Here's what I imagine you doing, Damien. I imagine like your bedroom, like you've got like one of those crime scene things with like printed out grimoires and like the red lines like crisscrossing and shit.
No, it was like you know. Oh, hold on. I'm kind of remembering because I was going through like how many times I beat orcs, and it was in activities. Do you remember that? And it was in like Taking King. Yes, it's somewhere around here. And it's like the Wolves of Mars. No, it's because it quotes and has Eris Morn. I was like, yo, this sounds like some Eris Morn would say.
Just go to ishtarcollective.com and cross-reference for Eris Morn.
Definitely gonna do that. Okay.
You've been to Ishtar Collective, right, Damien?
Yeah, because it has all of the
Yeah, because it's got everything cross-referenced.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be more questions that I could be asking Mike, since this is basically an interview that then got taken over by Damien's enthusiasm, and he's just decided to dive right in. Shit, I don't even know what else to ask. I feel like his answers were pretty legit.
One of mine is, what keeps you playing?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was my major one. What keeps you playing Destiny? What's your motivation?
Other than having fun, I want to get better at PvP. Like near the end of Black Ops, I got pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's sometimes I get into like the flow state in Crucible, and I'm like, okay, nothing, I'm untouchable, I'm good. And then, you know, the tilt happens, or sometimes I'll stay on, you know, the flow for 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'll look up and be like, okay, it's 11:30. I have to go do stuff now. My KD is at a 5, 6, 7, you know, whatever it might be. So it's just basically getting better. But I like learning too, man. Like I can watch, like for my first time in Trials, I would get sniped by an angle, and I'm like, okay, he got me from this angle. And being dead in Trials isn't the worst thing, but it's the worst thing, if you know what I mean. Like I can see where the person who killed me was. So I'm like, okay, that's where he is. And if the spawn flips, that's where I'm going, and I'll get him from the same spot he got me from. So it's basically like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Finish your thought.
It's basically like I learn from every death. I learn something, which is what you need to do.
Yeah, the thing about PvP is the fact that you have to understand every game mode, and the fact that you have to understand that every game mode is played completely different. Whether, for example, you have Cauldron. Now, Cauldron is a circular map. It's not like Shores of Time, which is a more of a rectangular map. It's not like Memento, which is a more like a linear map, which is straight up and down.
Yeah.
So you have to understand like the symmetrics of the map as well. So let's take, like I said, Cauldron, for instance, which is a more circular map. How you will play Cauldron on Control, which is whether you spawn, C is on the right side, A is on the left, B is right in the middle through the gates, right? You will play that map. The hot zones is usually between B and A. Not B and C, but B and A. It's totally different if you're playing Skirmish. The hot zones are pretty much between C and B at that point. Or B going around, A going around to C through that linear, through that outside line before
where the heavy spawns on the bridge.
Where the heavy spawn is, right, where the bridge is. That's where the hot zone is in Skirmish, but it's different in Control, and it's different in Salvage, and it's different in Clash. And Rumble is free for all, but you have to understand like the game modes as well as the map construction. So you have to know when. See me, I'm a sniper, so I snipe. It was an excruciating process, but I taught myself how to get that first shot. If I don't make that first shot, get up out of there. If I get that first shot, cool. Follow up, get another shot, cool. Follow up, get another shot, cool. If I don't get that, I need to get out, because by the time I reload, I'm done. And you know what? Ironically, I was listening to Planet Destiny this morning, and I think Poke Bear said it takes a second and 1.3 seconds. That's the time to kill in Destiny. 1.3 seconds. You reload, you're done. Especially if you're going against that person. Got to kill first. Even if you don't get that, even if you don't get that first kill shot, if you get them enough to stun them and get them out your way, you've bought time. And sometimes you have to do that, like even in Trials. And that's another thing. Trials is played different on the same map. So there may be times where I'm not shooting you to kill you. I'm shooting you to buy time that I can revive my teammate.
Or to move you out of where I want you to be. Or to move you where I want you to be.
Exactly, to move you out of the way. So there may be time, like say Tim is down. He's in front of me. I have two people in front of me in my crosshairs. One is eyeing Tim's body. The other one is waiting for me to come around the corner. Right? So I might stun one out of the way. Right? He leaves, but as soon as I stun him, I have to leave out the way, because the other person that was watching Tim's body is now watching me.
Yeah.
He's not watching. So you have to take in consideration of all of that. All of this is happening in a quick span time in Trials.
Oh man, you got Damien cracking and snapping his knuckles.
Yeah, I'm in PvP mode now.
I got in PvP mode.
You got in PvP mode now. And when you're and I'm in the top 5, okay? The person you really need to talk to is Killbot. He's in the top 1. That dude is a machine. He's a machine, all right? First time I made it to the lighthouse was with Killbot.
And I was there too.
we always there. I'm in the top 5.
But see, the difference though, like you also have to look at the mindset of the person who's playing as well. Like I've been playing with Killbot for a very long time now. And like Killbot is really, really, really fucking good, and he gets really into it just like Damien. But once things start going bad for like a certain amount of time, like he starts getting really down on himself. You know,
Yeah.
whereas Damien will push through until he gets into frustration, and he'll be just like, "Why the fuck am I playing so goddamn fucking shit?"
Right. Yeah, that is me.
You know,
Yeah.
whereas I'm more
Oh.
of an optimist most of the time. At least I'd like to think so. I don't know. You can weigh in on that, Damien, since you've fought many trials with me.
Well, and the thing is, Tim is the optimist, but I understand where Killbot is coming through as well because Killbot is in the top 1%. I'm in the top 5%. So we set our standards at a very, very high bar at the point where we don't fuck up. And when we do fuck up, it's a problem because we're not used to doing that, you know? And so, and that's a problem between me and Killbot we have to fight through because we have to understand that we're human and we have rough patches, you know, but the fact is
I still don't think either of you two understand that you guys are human.
Like we go through a lot of matches where that doesn't happen. So when it does happen, we just don't know how to handle it and we get frustrated very fast. Like, why the fuck are we playing this bad? Because we know we're good. So we just have to understand that, hey, there's always someone a little bit better, you know, but we just don't want to realize it at that point in time, you know. So like, you just have to play with us, dude. Like, and just see how we all handle. Like, it's been time. Like,
he'd have to have a PlayStation 4 for that to happen.
It's coming. It's coming.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Is it? Is it your Christmas present to yourself?
I believe so. No, it's probably from my girlfriend. I believe so.
Oh, it's a good girlfriend.
man.
Yeah.
Well, if you need a power grind, we're here, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. Once you get your PS4, we're here for you, man.
Yeah.
So as far as the show goes, what drew you to this podcast? Because we're obviously a newer podcast and definitely low on the totem pole in terms of podcasts for Destiny at any rate, because there's a shit ton of them.
Well, yeah, it's just like you said, the community's so big, everybody has one. Basically, what it was I work late nights, so I work in a warehouse, so.
Mm-hmm.
Having something to listen to that I like helps a lot, helps the hours go by.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on Stitcher and typed in Destiny, and it was Agents. It was your Agents of the Nine, and then I think Planet Destiny, and I think one more. And I was like,
Guardian
okay, so
Radio.
Guardian Radio with Bife. I think Bife was on it, and that's how I knew about that.
That's it.
And I was like, okay, well, everybody loves Zer. Click on that, and then I downloaded all the podcasts and I listened to them basically back to back from one all the way up.
Wow,
and when
some of those were long, dude.
Oh yeah. I work long hours. So when I heard your, I think you named it, Tim, the LFG podcast.
Yeah, that was the last second change.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'll just send them a message. I'll find their Facebook and send them a message and see what happens, because it's like I said, the community is pretty much out there for everybody. So, and that led me here.
Well, alrighty.
That's what's up, man.
Well, alrighty. I guess the only other question to ask, a series of questions, but they're all sort of related to each other. Do you have any back offer considerations in talking in a recorded audio format that will then go out to potentially the world?
No, I don't. It's fine.
Okay. Do you feel weird at all talking to the people that you spent apparently an entire Netflix marathon session listening to? Like, does that feel weird at all to you?
No, you guys are actually pretty cool. Like, at first I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to guys I listen to all day long. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you came through pretty much the way you come through on the podcast.
Yeah. Me and Dame are not, we're not like, we're not chameleons. We're not wearing paper mache or masks.
No,
we're
pretty much
we're
open.
Yeah, we're who we are.
Yeah.
I know that's super cliche to say, but it's kind of the only thing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's some people that are like, some podcasts you listen to and you think that the host is really cool, and then if you ever meet them or whatever it might be, they're totally dicks.
I've had the fortune of meeting some of the people from the podcast that I've listened to like forever, and sometimes they are not exactly who You think they are.
You would think they are. Yeah, exactly.
Like Luke Smith, who's now at Bungie. Like I met him and talked to him on a live podcast of his that he did back when he was working for Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's exactly who he is. In fact, the Bungie version of Luke Smith is like actually a toned the fuck down version of Luke Smith.
Yeah,
because Luke Smith on 7 Up was just like
Luke Smith would tell you how it is 100% of the time. I think if Bungie would let him, which is unfortunate.
I think and I think that Luke has just got older. He's just older.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's been
you learn from your mistakes.
Many years,
like that terrible mistake he made earlier.
We know the funny thing was you going with us the other night? We were no, it was Kono. We were in the middle last night. We was in the middle of Oryx. Mm-hmm. It's when they patched up the bug going on with you can get the drops from not buying the stat book from the SRL.
Oh yeah, that was kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, well, it's microtransactions, so they move pretty quick. But hey. But we was in the middle of a raid, and it just kicked us out, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is Luke doing over there? Like, what the fuck is Luke Smith doing? Like, he's just fucking in a hot patch in the middle of it's 9 p.m.
He doesn't have control over that sort of shit. He's a fucking designer. He doesn't have anything to do with patches.
You know what? I think Luke has more power than what he says he does. That's Scared of Lord. That's Scared of Lord. I think that's that way. I think he has some say.
I don't know.
I think he has some say. Him and Deej. I really think Deej has.
I really think Luke has some say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't disagree that Luke has say in stuff, but like I think his says or says and things is is like the long term and further out, because like he said, he'd wrapped up Vault of Glass and then started working on the Taken King, or at least what would be the Taken King, a month before Destiny shipped, like vanilla Destiny. So they're way further out. So he's probably already working on whatever the next biggest Destiny thing is.
Cabal Raid.
Well, he's not gonna they're not gonna have anything to do with that. The Mars.
I got another question.
The Mars expansion is being handled by High Moon Studios.
Oh,
which is good because they're a great studio. But it's interesting that they're handling that content, and I think that the reason that they've been pushed into handling that content, other than the fact that they're owned by Activision, so they're like Bungie has a content problem. Make more content while they make what will be the true Destiny 2.0.
Yeah, help them.
Yeah, pretty much. And that I wouldn't be surprised if that's the thing that we get in spring is the Mars expansion with the Cabal raid.
Yeah.
So what do you think of microtransactions?
As long as it's not play to win, I'm fine with it. As long as it's strictly cosmetic, and it seems to only be strictly cosmetic or for a limited time or for an event, that's fine with me.
Well, here's the thing though. As of the SRL, the racing logbook is not cosmetic. It is a gameplay statistics tracking item that you pay $10 for.
Right. And see, here's my fear. Well, I'm gonna let you finish, Tim. I'm gonna let you finish.
And while on the one hand, I'm happy to throw $10 at Destiny because I know out of any other game that I have, it's the game that I'm going to come back to sooner or later. Yeah. Because I fucking made a podcast for it. Like it has the fucking goddamn hooks, and I'm a hardcore Bungie fan from way back, even the pre Halo. So like I have a personal, I guess, investment in Destiny and their well-being and the games that they create for me. So if they want to charge me $10 for an SRL racing book that essentially adds, well, it's kind of weird because the way it works is it's not necessarily like a hidden quest line, but it gives you rewards that you might not otherwise get, I guess.
But see, here's my thing, and this is what I'm scared of, and this is what we talked about a couple episodes ago, though, Tim. Me, you, and KB, we care about.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning was the emotes, right?
Sure.
With the transactions, and we said if it stays at the cosmetic, it's fine. You know, it's nothing that's going to change the game. But like I told you, this is Activision that's publishing this. I know Activision, they're going to try to milk it any way they can. They've done it with Call of Duty. This is a hotter franchise. I wouldn't say bigger, but I say a hotter franchise than Call of Duty right now.
It's not bigger yet, but the point.
It's not bigger yet.
The simple fact that there's 25 million active players of Destiny, however the hell they count active, that's still bigger than WoW.
It's definitely
WoW. And unless I'm wrong here, correct me if I'm wrong here, Damien, but WoW at its peak was 14 million, right?
14 or 15. It was 14 or 15. I want to say 15, but you might be right with 14 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in between there. But the thing is still, I know Activision. I know Activision is about one thing and one thing only. How much money can they milk out of one situation? You know?
Yeah.
Okay, they're gonna get their money's worth out of everything. That goes without saying. It's a business.
Well, I think there was an article where Bungie went on record saying that they had made. Uh-oh, we lost Damien. Are you still there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, we lost Damien. I'm gonna add him here. 1 second.
At the highest peak of WoW, it was 12.5 million subscribers.
Really? For some reason, I thought it was 14. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other question that I was going to ask you, whether or not Damien's going to come back or not, was...
Did I drop out?
Yeah, you dropped the fuck out.
Yeah.
Where did I drop out at? Damn it. I was on the road too.
No, don't worry about it.
You missed 12.5 million.
Yeah, Mike looked it up that it was 12.5 million.
Yeah, so I said about I think WoW was at 14 or 15.
We just said that he said that it was 12 million according to what he Googled.
But anyway, like prior to that,
at face value for Google.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's what's up. But where I'm going at it with is that I know Activision. I know how Activision works. We know how Activision goes eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now here, you know, it was fine and dandy when you were paying for emotes, cosmetics, right? Because it didn't affect gameplay. It was what you wanted. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the Thriller dance, I was like, "Oh shit, Bungie, take my money! I gotta get this right now."
I agree. I was right there.
No hesitation. No hesitation.
You saw me using the shit out of it during the Oryx fight.
It was a jump on it for me.
I think it was jump on it for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But
because nothing's better than a Titan dropping a bubble and you doing the jump on it in the middle of the bubble.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, but the thing was that it was now we're dealing with you get a stat book for your SRL and it drops armor, right? That you can't get if you don't have that stat book, right?
But here's the thing on that though. And while it sounds super negative, especially the way I'm framing it, Damien's framing it, and Mike's reporting it to be as well, what we have to realize is there was exclusive armor in all of the special editions of Destiny. There are special emblems and shaders you can only get by pre-ordering Call of Duty, or a good example would be I got the Destiny Taken King soundtrack digitally from the Bungie store because it had an emblem, and it was in the height of Destiny Taken King fever, where it was like, oh my god, that's an emblem I won't have, and it'll be sitting out of my collection, and I must have it.
I'm with you, Tim.
You know what I mean?
Or the blacksmith.
Here's the difference, though.
Right.
Here's the difference, though. That's a shader. That's an emblem, right?
But no, I'm pointing out though the legendary stuff for the armors.
Right. Which
And don't
that's
forget
a real.
and don't forget the exclusive armor to us PlayStation users.
I'm about to say that the
I got
PlayStation
that.
exclusive armor.
I got that. I got that. But that's a contract dealing with Sony and Bungie and Sony and Activision to get that exclusive content. I understand that.
The Legendary Editions, that content's the same across the board for all the consoles.
That's true. As long as you have a PlayStation on that side.
Well, you get more on PlayStation, but I mean, you'd still get, whatever the hell the Soros crap was with Taken King
with the pre-order and all that,
and the exotic class items.
My issue, my red flag is this: there's armor dropping from a stat book that you have to pay to get silver from, right? Which means you're paying for armor. Which means, in my eyes, this is the baby steps, or could be the baby steps, was to stop Activision and say, you paying for weapons now. Now that's a problem. Now I'm paying for a weapon that's going to change and affect how I am in Crucible, how I am in a raid, how I am in a strike, how I am in a Nightfall.
But Damien, technically, if you think about it, they already did that. Because look at what we have on PlayStation. We had Hawkmoon before fucking everybody else. And all the Xbox fanboys you can hear on any other Destiny podcast. Or, my claymate Conair, on Xbox.
Right.
Because he plays Destiny on Xbox too, because he's a madman and plays on both platforms.
I got you.
They're talking about how there was no Hawkmoon before, and then suddenly there was Hawkmoon, and it wrecked the ecosystem that the Xbox players had grew up with. You know what I mean?
I got you, but here's the thing. They run on different servers than the PlayStation. So the Xbox has their servers, PlayStation has their servers. The problem comes in within the PlayStation, or like say if we're on the PlayStation side or even on the Xbox side, let's say we're both on the PlayStation side, right? Mm-hmm. All three of us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a weapon that I'm eating you up with in the Crucible. Mm-hmm. You don't know where the weapon came from because you've been running strike after strike or nightfall after nightfall. It won't drop. You only come to find out that I got that weapon because I paid for it. I'm paying for a weapon that has a bigger advantage over you. Now you are left out because now you have to pay for a weapon that has changed your gameplay within our servers. It's different from having a Hawkmoon and a Monte Carlo and a Fourth Horseman. That Xbox, they're on a different servers.
But Damien, it's not different because you're choosing to buy the PlayStation platform Destiny or the Xbox platform Destiny, knowing that the PlayStation will have an advantage. That's why I bought Destiny on the PlayStation 4.
No, but see, the thing I'm trying to get at is the difference is between I'm not talking about exclusives as far as like PlayStation and Xbox. What I'm trying to get at is
I get that you're talking about money though, but ultimately you're talking about money that you're paying for a game already because something has something that the other version doesn't have. And I'm saying we've already fucking done that by choosing the PlayStation version over Xbox.
No. What I'm talking about is I'm not talking about a version that I'm not talking about a version that the PlayStation have between the Xbox. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is Bungie falling into that trap as saying, like The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. I'm walking into the multiplayer on the PlayStation. That's a PlayStation exclusive. Mm-hmm. I'm getting killed by a crossbow that I can't unlock until I'm level 65 unless I pay for it. That's what I'm talking about. I shouldn't have to pay for a weapon in order for me to compete.
Okay.
Prior.
Would you have a problem with it if they had a DLC weapon like with the Peacekeeper? Because let's be honest, when the Peacekeeper came out, everybody had Peacekeeper in Black Ops.
If you had the DLC for that,
if you had the DLC, but you had to pay for the DLC though. But would you have a problem with would that be an issue, or is your issue the
In this case with Bungie, yes. Because Bungie never came up that way.
Okay, yeah.
Bungie never came up that way. Now, the fact that it's published by Activision, I'm not surprised if it does, which is what I'm saying. It's slowly going to this way. They're easing us into the fact that eventually we're going to be paying for weapons. We're going to be paying for weapons that I'm going to be paying for an auto rifle. $3 or 500 silver for an auto rifle just so I can compete in the Crucible or compete in trials.
Let's roll this back here for a second, Damien. Because I know you're enraged and you'll talk about this for about 40 billion hours.
This is podcast stuff. This stuff we have a podcast.
So we know that Bungie was allowed to meet with Blizzard.
Right.
And they talked at length about how they handled the Diablo 3 rollout and expansion and the way that they've managed that community. And Luke Smith has even said, that they learned a lot of very valuable lessons from that.
Right.
Now, I'm not a World of Warcraft player. I'm definitely a Blizzard fan. I played a lot of Blizzard games and stuff. But as far as their MMOs go, it's not my area of expertise. Was there any point in World of Warcraft where they asked you to pay for a weapon that would give you an advantage over another player?
I didn't come across that because I played a lot of PvE. I didn't really play a lot of PvP.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could still have an advantage over enemies by having a better weapon that you could buy.
That's true.
So I think the question stands for both types.
To be the honest truth, I don't know because I know there's a lot of grinding because they had the thing about World of Warcraft is the fact that, and I see where Bungie is going with it. World of Warcraft had a lot of currencies. They had badge of honors.
So
they had
fucking Destiny.
So yeah,
Destiny has a fucking shit ton of currencies, and sometimes they go in and out of favor like a fucking stock exchange.
Yeah, Destiny has the motor lights, the strange coins, the glimmer,
radiant shards, radiant energy.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget etheric light.
Yeah, but they're like you can mold that. You can run that into
spin metal, worm spore. Like the list goes on.
You count that as currency? I just count that as materials.
But what are you using it for, Damien? You're using it to pay for a slot on your gun.
Using it to upgrade your weapons.
So it's a fucking currency.
Yeah. But see, you're using it to upgrade your weapons or armor. But see, in World of Warcraft, you're getting calcified. Yeah, I give you that. But see, in World of Warcraft, you're using that currency to buy weapons. I mean, you got your legendary marks. You got what is that? Yeah, strange coins reserve.
You're still doing that though. They're still doing that in Destiny, though, Damien. I get that. The comparison isn't valid there because you're still using relic iron to buy a better point on your gun. Everybody gets the same shitty gun, and then they gotta put more currencies in to get a better version of that gun.
Right, that's all in-game currency.
You also can use them to buy new swords.
You can, which is in-game currency. I haven't come out the pocket with none of that. My issue is me having an auto rifle that I paid $5 for, and I had to pay $5 for to be competitive because I'm getting raped by that shit in fucking Crucible because somebody dropped $20 for
okay, and
1,000 silver.
I totally hear your complaint, Damien, but they haven't done that yet.
I feel like it's on the way. They're easing us in to that point. I feel like they're easing us into that point with the armor.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think
with
so.
The armor.
I definitely think we should see weapon shaders. I definitely think that's coming. That's coming up the pipeline.
I fucking agree. They should have weapon and they should have sparrow shaders. And while we're at it, just fucking give us ship shaders too.
Yeah,
I would love ship shaders. I would like sparrow shaders. I would like weapon shaders. But I feel like the fact that if we're paying for a stat book that's dropping us armor, that is a very, very light way of telling us you're paying for armor. You're paying for gear drops.
But it is armor only specialized for the racing, though. It has perks for racing.
But the perks for racing is giving you an advantage.
Infuse, though.
I've been
That's true.
playing a lot of racing, and that still gives you a competitive advantage.
It does give you competitive, but you're paying for it. You're paying for it. You have drops for it, but if you want the top tier, I'm not sure if 320 drops regardless from that because I didn't play it enough to.
320 drops regardless.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay.
Which is what's up. But you're still paying for armor.
And you can also use, fun little fact, guys, if you want to get the chaperone and you're stuck on the first part, getting the kills in the Crucible with the last word equipped. If you do sparrow racing with the
with the last word,
because
it counts.
Because interest,
counts?
interest,
it counts.
Yeah, people are finding out that by doing sparrow racing, not only does it count for because it counts as Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
So it counts as Crucible rep, and it counts as Crucible points, and it counts as Crucible bounties.
How does that register though? Like if you don't, you got to run somebody over. Like how does that register?
No, you just win.
No, you don't even need to win. You can just place. You can hit 6th place and you get 3% regardless.
Yeah.
As long as you don't die. As long as you don't die on the get blown up and have to respawn on the map.
Yeah, and one of the things that Reddit pointed out was that you get a lot of experience from SRL Sparrow Racing League. So like if you have like your third class has been stagnating sub 40 or one of his what am I talking about? The things
the upgrade orbs?
When you change to a different, what am I thinking?
I don't know.
One of the upgrade orbs, one of the class orbs.
No, the you know how you get the 3 powers, the void and the solar.
Void, solar, and arc.
Yeah, so it's a good way to upgrade one of those is by doing sparrow racing. Apparently.
No.
It's subclass.
Yeah, subclass. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't edit.
Oh man, but no, that's my thing. I'm just scared. I'm scared. I'm scared that Activision is going to be like, hey, you're going to pay for weapons eventually.
Hey, you want this assault rifle version of the Thorn?
Oh
$7.
My God, no.
Shut exactly.
Your fucking filthy mouth hole.
Like I feel like that's.
I'm done with Destiny. If there's a fucking assault rifle Thorn.
Assault rifle Thorn.
Good God.
I still get hit by. Like now, it's so odd for me to get hit by Thorn in just regular Crucible. I'm like, wait, why is my screen green? What happened? I'm not in smoke. I'm looking around going.
I'm going against Thorns now. Like if I get shot at a Thorn, I'm like, good for you. You still holding on to that shit. I'm like,
I'm sure they feel the same way when they get hit by the Patience in Time. When I hit them with Patience in Time, they're like, wait, what was that? You know what I mean?
I got shot the other night. I got killed by a herb and elephants. I was like. Last night, actually, I was on the mic with me and Kono. I was like, Herb and Elephant's like, yo.
I still get killed by.
Just won't let it die. It won't let it go.
Fuck, I can't. Icebreaker.
Gallahorn. I get killed by Gallahorn.
I still get killed by Icebreaker.
Actually, Gallahorn is very suffice in PvP, though.
Yeah.
Very suffice.
Standard PvP.
Yeah, those wolf packs is dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
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 But I think we're going to see a lot more Dragon's Breath.
I haven't played with the new Year 2 version yet.
It shoots like a scorch cannon. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that.
And it has the sound.
Really?
It has the sound. Yeah. Because I got killed by it I got killed by it yesterday.
And if you equipped it with the Takanot, the Titan helmet that gives you tracking, it's a monster. It's scary.
Yeah. That's
you can't miss. Yeah, you really can't miss.
No. It's like the truth, but with a solar burn at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've realized that my favorite loadout with my Night Stalker is the sealed Alhamkara grasps, because I'll throw 2 smokes and a grenade into into B or A or wherever.
See, I like throwing 2 throwing knives. I'm a throwing knife guy.
Okay. Yeah, I usually run Night Stalker just because it gives me more area control, because I'm a very objective based player.
Right.
But with when I played Trials, I did the gunslinger, and I had to relearn how to use it because I haven't used it in so long.
Yeah.
See, it depends on me in Trials. If I see a hammer, I'm going Night Stalker.
Yeah, because you want to dodge the fuck out of those things.
That, and when I hear it, I just shoot it. Because I know it's not coming from my team. When I hear that ting, I just shoot it because I know he's going to come for us and he's going to walk right into that trap. He's going to walk right into it.
I also think that the Night Stalker, instead of having the spike grenade, the void spike grenade, I think they should have the suppression grenade that the defender has.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because they're more. I mean, it's more of a support class anyway.
Well, see, they won't do that because the tether is the trick for that. Because the submission knocks you out of your super, and so that's the tether's job. So they won't. Which is
always fun to watch a Titan in the fire mode come at you, and you hit the ground, and then you watch that tether, and they look at you like, why am I throwing hammers? And I'm just drilling them with my auto rifle, going, okay, good.
I got a video where I sniped a hammer Titan out of his super. He was like at 94% health. 92% health. It was
just enough for the steel piercer, huh?
Just enough, yo. It was crazy, yo. And like it was like I was the last Guardian standing, and I just like I don't even know how I landed that shot, yo.
That last Guardian standing is just a terrifying experience for me.
Actually, I love that experience because I get to go in hero mode. I get to be like, yo, I'm going to pull this 1-on-3. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's hero mode when you do it. It's not hero mode when you don't do it.
That's true. That's true. But, you know, a lot of people, when they see that flash across, they be like, oh, shit. But the trick is to communicate. When I see that, the first thing hit my mind, okay, talk to me. Where they at? Let me separate one. It's 3-on-1. Let me separate it to 1-on-1. That's the key. You get it to 1-on-1, you knock them out, now it's 2-on-1. You knock them out, now it's an even match.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about communication. And that's one of the things that I've learned and I use like if I got picked off if I was the first pick, the first thing I'm doing is telling them where that red outline is going.
Yep. And see, the thing is, if it's 3-on-1 and you're dealing with a decent team, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be 2-on-1 because one person is going to stay with those orbs. And if you knock one of them out, now it's 1-on-1. And the other person might creep out.
Gunfight.
Right. And the other person might creep out and leave those orbs. Now, once he left those orbs, now you have room to move around and get your teammate up. That's the key right there. You know, if you're dealing with a decent team, it's always going to be usually 2-on-1. And if you knock that first one out, now you got room to maneuver. You know,
the only time I ever went last Guardian standing was for my 8th win, I think, on my card. And I went last Guardian standing, and there was 2 up, and they both rushed me. And I just threw, like I did, the double smokes, the smoke, my the void grenade, and the smoke again, and I was in church, and they came running in, and they saw all the ticks, and my teammate was like, come get us, and I just ran to come get him. And I mean, I was doing dodging and all kinds of crazy triple jumps just trying to get to him. But we got to him, and by the time I turned around, I got one already with the smoke, and then I sniped the last one off. So it was hero mode. I was shaking, I was screaming. It was great.
I'm gonna tell you, Trials is the one mode that has my heart like heartbeat racing, man.
I call it the 8 mile effect.
Dude. Yeah, it's a rush, man.
Mile effect because your palms are sweaty. You want to throw up a little bit. You're like, ooh.
Yep.
Especially for me, it was my first time. I wanted to see it. I wanted to get there.
It's the only mode where my heart is racing like a motorboat, dude. It's like, oh fuck, I'm on. Like this is real, But yeah, man, it's what's up.
Well, are you guys ready for the Inception part?
What's up?
We've been recording.
I know. So this is So is this a podcast?
I guess so. Yeah, this is totally off the cuff, probably shitty mic leveled podcast.
Because we got some footage. we got some footage. We got some hell footage.
Yeah, we got all of those images, Dame.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Get on it in the middle of the Titan bubble image on Big. That's a great image to see.
Yeah, we've done that. The whole Titan bubble thing. Yeah, it's good.
And it's the best when the Titan has on the helmet saying 14 and they don't realize, so they rush you because they're mad. Like, oh, I'm mad. You danced, and then you're like, okay, you can't see me now. I'm gonna hit you.
But still, nothing beats a trials match going into overtime, and
grabbing that,
and everybody rushing towards that flag, and then that one dude who's like alive on the other team somehow kills your entire other team, and like your team's wiped out, and the countdown comes, and then you trigger that self-res as Warlock Master Race, and then you just fucking lay the smack down and win the round.
Shit, I remember KB did that. That's how we went to the lighthouse.
Dude, I do that all the time.
Yeah, it was the last match, and then like actually, it was like a tight match. I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, the Defender Titan is my second class, because nothing is better than being kind of a party pooper.
Yeah,
you know what? I was listening to, was it Planet Destiny or Guardian Radio? Statistically, teams that have Defender Titans win a lot more games.
Oh,
yeah. I heard that too.
Games.
That was actually on the Bungie update. They had a stat on that.
Okay. That's why I know.
Probably why it made it to the podcast.
Yeah.
And the buffs, the class changes that Bungie made to the Titan, it's great. Being a defender, having that instant recharge of your grenade once you pop your bubble, that's just super useful.
Yeah, and it makes it more so that you'll pop your bubble more for that purpose.
Yeah, just simply for it, because I mean the bubble's is good to have anyway, because then your team runs through it, they get their buffs or whatever you need, and you keep on going. But having that extra suppression grenade is just key. It's crucial.
Yeah, for sure. Well, alrighty, guys. I'm going to cut it here because I know Damien was only going to talk for like 10 minutes, and it's an hour and 9 minutes. And you need to go to fucking bed, Damien.
I do. I have been like 5 hours. But you get me on Destiny, I talk for hours, dude.
Yeah.
Same here.
That's why we were late, because he was getting into an argument with one of his clanmates over stuff in Destiny. That's crazy. Well, alrighty, Mike. I think you're going to be a fine addition to this podcast.
Thank you.
Good stuff tonight.
I don't know when exactly we're gonna slam a schedule in, or if we're gonna do a schedule, or if we're just gonna sort of do them when we feel like them. But
when's your free days?
We'll figure it out.
Fridays and Saturdays is my absolutely free days, and then I mean, I'm assuming you guys aren't East Coast like me, so.
Dame's East Coast. I'm not.
I'm East Coast.
I'm West Coast.
Oh yeah.
So right now it's 1:47 right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's 1:47 right now. It's not a big deal for me. I'm actually, like I said, I get off work at 2:30, so I'm up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. Well, we'll work it out, and I got your Skype now.
Absolutely.
So we'll Skype group chat, and we'll figure it out from here.
Cool.
Right. Well, already, Mike, I'm super glad you reached out, and more glad that you talked a good game.
Well, that's easy to talk. So
sure.
Side note, Tim, I am episode 4, Jessica Jones. Probably gonna check out my Arrow tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you joining us for Jessica Jones next week?
Yeah, I'm doing some grinding, so I should be ready. What episode are you guys doing? 3?
We'll be doing 2, but I think we didn't do 2 this week because you were on the show last night, and we did both agents last night.
You did both agents.
David Tennant's the greatest villain ever.
Yeah, he's super good. You watch Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm telling you, Tim.
Shut up, Dame.
I'm not sold on her best friend.
Shut up, Dame. You a Marvel fan there, Mike?
Yes, I am.
Then I highly suggest you check out my other podcast that's been running for 3 years, Rising Tide, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. Since you do listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to. I've heard it. I've heard you talk about it.
Oh, well, you should.
After at the end, and I've been trying to find it on Stitcher. I don't think it's on Stitcher, so
it's on Stitcher.
Maybe I'm not searching right. I have to look at it.
If it's somehow not on Stitcher, some bitch is getting a phone call tomorrow. Because that show's I've been running that show for almost 4 years now. So
I've been on a couple episodes.
you've been on a lot of episodes, Damien.
Yeah, I did.
So
I
don't know about
anything
couple.
I think I'm a fan of anything superhero. Green Arrow, the Arrow.
Yeah, me too. I watch all that
Flash.
stuff. Yeah, if you listen to this week's Rising Tide, there's a huge, like 40-minute thing at the end where me and Damien, who just dropped off of the call, but that's
Again?
fine. He needs to go to bed.
Yeah.
Where we just like go off on like Arrow and stuff because like he hasn't been watching like Arrow and Flash, and we're like, dude, you should watch Arrow and Flash.
Yeah. Arrow's the one show that every time you see Oliver Queen or the actor, and you're like, man, I should do more. I should lift weights.
I know,
I should do
right?
more crunches.
Dude, I bought a fucking bow.
Yeah, it's on Stitcher though. This type of Rising Tide.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to do the salmon ladder. I'm like, I want to do that. That makes you look like a Superman. Like,
the fucking salmon ladder jokes are so good.
yeah, that is good.
Well, already, Mike, pleasure, man, and
absolutely pleasure here.
I'll be in touch. Damien, go the fuck to bed.
I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Well, alrighty, gentlemen, this has been a super duper fucking impromptu episode of Agents of the Night and Destiny podcast.
What is this, like 4.5 episodes? Is this episode 4.5? You call this?
I don't know. This is like 5 or 6 or something. But like some of our Destiny podcast episodes have been fucking super long.
Yeah.
Like
that 3-hour long one.
Ridiculously fucking long.
That was the one where like me and Killbot just talked about an hour and a half and just like on the Titan alone, on the Sunbreaker.
Yeah. What happened there? I think I had typed in the message like I had to go to the bathroom. And I was just, and I was like, Damien, keep him busy or something. Right. And I come back and I couldn't fucking talk for like an hour.
We were like super pissed because we were like, yo, we can, because I was like, yo, I can snipe a golden gun out, a $100 golden gun. I can snipe a self-resin warlock out of a super, and I can't fucking snipe a Titan out of a Sunbreaker. That's a fucking problem.
Not a fresh Sunbreaker. Not one that just popped it. Or after a kill, no way.
Yeah.
I've sniped 3 times. I've sniped a warlock out of a Titan out of a super. 3 times, yo. 3 times out of, I don't know how many times. I could tell you how many times I heard it. Ding! Like, people just scatter. I've never seen Guardians move that fast in my entire existence playing Destiny. Like, when they hear that chime, they don't even care if their team.
People just jump away from it.
They just get the hell up out of there. It's like, oh, fuck this. They don't go into attack mode unless they see like the blue side with the chime mark and it's a red sign. Like that's when like, okay, that's my teammate. He has it. I'm going in. But other than that, they just like, and I'm like that. I hear the chime. I just like, oh, I'm shooting my bow. Spam. I don't care where it's coming from. I'm shooting my bow. Fuck it.
It's a little bit easier now with the 3-second delay.
Yeah.
For the healing, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cauterize.
They lowered the damage reduction too, so I should be able to snipe one full health out of his hammer.
Should, yes.
I love how like 16 minutes ago I said I was ending the show, and then I said some stuff, and then 6 minutes after that, Damien's still talking.
Hang it up now. Right now, Tim. I'm gone.
Go to bed, Dame. Peace out, Mike.
That's my fault.
Bye, audience. I guess we're back.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
Guardian down.
Don't do that.